About 2 months ago, I was bored and I was in one of those moods where I was looking for random tech to buy. And if you're a tech enthusiast, you probably know what that mood kind of feels like. You're looking for something interesting, something that's going to make you think at least a little bit differently about the tech world, right? So in this case here, I normally avoid buying things just because I want to look, and I already have more than enough tech in my house that I do not need anymore. But fortunately, I did end up buying something interesting to me, which was the 2019 Amazon Fire 7 tablet. What interested me the most was that I saw the listing on Amazon. It was on sale, brand new, with lock screen ads, which I've never experienced before, for $35. And on top of that, I saw that it had 221,000 reviews at a 4.4 rating on average, which all I can think to myself is that I had to try it out. As you can see, there's a lot of 5-star reviews on this tablet. And who is giving this tablet 5-star reviews? Is this tablet secretly good? Is there something that I'm missing here? So in this case here, there were a lot of unique factors going on that I really wanted to try it out and make an updated 2022 review. The first thing to note is I was pretty impressed with how this tablet felt to hold overall. The dimensions are perfect for one or two-handed use for most people. The matte plastic feels good to the touch. This is the sturdy plastic with no compromises regarding structure, which was a complete 180 from what I expected. What I expected was a brittle, weak, disposable level of quality, which I did not get here, thankfully. This is a solid, tough tablet with no bends or creaks that will be able to withstand most of the risks that come with using a tablet indoors. I do notice a little flexing near the battery end, which is a little bit noticeable, and it was clear that this material was not chosen for long-term ownership in mind, because while the plastic looks and feels great, you're going to notice scratches accumulate very, very easily. Whether you're just tossing it in a bag or literally scraping your fingernail against it, you're going to see scratches pop up a lot over time, which didn't surprise me because I expected compromises somewhere. So if you slap a case on this guy, you should be able to mitigate any future damage anyway. Which is what brings me to the overall design as well. There's a few things I actually hated about the design of this tablet that actually grew on me over time. First was the fact that most of the buttons and ports are on the top of the tablet. In the past, I've seen this common with a lot of cheap gas station prepaid phones. So when the same thing happened here, I was a little bit skeptical about the idea of this tablet at first. Over time, I've noticed it's really nice having everything out of the way because it keeps the sides clean, which just feels good. Actually, this tablet feels good and is super comfortable overall. The bezels, while they might look a little old school here, are actually perfect for resting your thumbs, and the general size is perfect for lounging around. This tablet is small enough to carry everywhere, but big enough to have a better experience generally consuming content, reading, or simply navigating UI for the normal apps that you use, like casting to your TV or ordering food. At this point, this brings me to the last true positive about this device, which is the performance and day-to-day experience. And this is where I'm going to start putting a little disclaimer here that it's good for the price, because at $35, I don't think you can find a better performing tablet anywhere. Personally, I don't even think you could get a Chinese off-brand tablet for this cheap that works this well. The performance per price is great here, and with $35, you'll be able to run one, maybe two low-intensity apps at a time with little issues. But it's only got 1 gig of RAM, and because of that, you will be almost immediately noticing how dragged down this tablet gets once you start swapping between a couple of apps. Once it starts slowing down, you'll start to see things like switching from portrait to landscape taking forever. Apps simply will crash or not respond, and sometimes unlocking your screen can take up to 15-20 seconds. Even under regular low intensity use, sometimes you can catch the OS taking time to refresh and catch up. For that reason alone, I recommend against this for anyone that relies on their device to run a business or for education. You do not want this thing getting in the way of you making money. For leisure, I think this is the best option for its price range. Real quick, I feel like in the tech space, we really don't have to talk about stuff like this too often, but this is the first time I've ever had to deal with mandatory ads on my lock screen. Buying the ad-supported version saved me $15, and I can pay that premium to remove ads at a later date if I want to, which is pretty great, I guess. Some people on Reddit claimed that they asked Amazon support very nicely, and they removed it for them, and if you're tech inclined, there are some free alternatives to get rid of them. But the idea as a whole is so interesting to me because there's so many layers to this concept. At first, ads weren't even targeted to me, but as I started using the tablet more and more and downloading apps, I did start to get recommendations that I was interested in, which was kind of freaky. Overall, if you want to save $15, that's up to you, but after going all day seeing ads for things on YouTube videos, every single social media, even constantly in my real life, I personally do not think it's worth the mental trade-off. And even though I haven't noticed any performance issues regarding advertisements yet, I have seen a lot of reviews complaining about the speed degradation over long periods of time. Either way, whoever's out there actually buying Tide Pods or whatever from your lock screen, do what makes you happy, but if it's up to me, I would check out some of those free tutorials out there to remove them if possible. And now, this is my absolute favorite part of the video where I go over all the general nitpicks I've had while using this device. Of course, this can be subjective, and some of these nitpicks have workarounds. Either way, it's up to you if what I'm about to pick apart is going to be a problem for you. The camera is not very great, but I felt like it was either this camera or nothing at all, so I guess I can't complain too much. The only time you're gonna get relatively clear photos is indoors with amazing lighting or broad daylight. The coating on the glass is not very good either, and this screen picks up dirt, oil, smudges, and gets pretty nasty very easily. So if you're giving this to a kid, prepare for this screen to always be filthy and to have to be constantly wiping it down. This tablet does not have USB Type-C, which isn't a huge deal, but we need to encourage Amazon to modernize and just let micro USB die. Their app store is still lacking good content after all these years. There's no native Google apps, just these ugly third-party workarounds which do their best, but are a third of the quality of a true native Google app. And that's kind of the same with the entire store. There's a few well-known apps that are effectively required to have a presence on any platform these days, like Disney+, Hulu, Netflix, Twitter, you know the rest. Everything else on the platform looks like these horrible mobile game ads like you see on Facebook, but these are actually those games. Basically, the apps in the Amazon store are like the leftover crumbs from all the other actually good app stores. Not to mention, because this is technically a completely different app store, any apps you purchase, even in the Play Store, don't transfer over. Which is expected, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna go insane if I have to buy Minecraft for the 4th time on a 4th different platform. So I'm good on spending money on this underdeveloped app store right now anyways. All of this, of course, is totally negated if you find out how to install the Play Store, which I heard is a pretty easy process. Overall, I think this is a great tablet for the price, but by no means this is a tablet for everyone. For me, my number one thought is that this is perfect for kids. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting close to that age where I'm expected to actually start buying things for the younger people in my life. I'm starting to get nieces and nephews and friends with kids around the 2 to 11-year-old mark, and this tablet is perfect for that age group. They're cheap to replace, which is better for me, to be honest, because I can throw $35 towards a gift for a kid all day. It doesn't cause any stress on my income, and the restrictions of the tablet itself and the App Store will naturally keep kids out of parts of the internet that are unsafe for them. Not to mention, using this tablet for reading itself is its true secret weapon, because I checked the prices for other tablets or e-readers, and I can't find anything that would come close to even competing with being able to read on this $35 tablet. Let me be clear here, if you can afford to get literally anything better, I would spend the money. Unless it's for a toddler that's never gonna know the difference, pay for something better if you can. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's most of my thoughts on the Fire 7 tablet. I know it's a lot going on here, and I didn't think this video would have been so long, so I'm gonna move on, enjoy the rest of my day, and start working on my next group of videos. Just reminding you, if you made it this far, you probably had a good time, at least so I assume, so subscribe, especially if you enjoy my style of content. Either way, guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.